conversations about preserving the wealth that they had. It was all like, I'm spending, I'm buying so and so this, I'm buying a new this and a new that, a new car, a new Range Rover, new whatever. And it just reminded me of how much work we have to do.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that is that one of my main objectives when I got into real estate, like when I got into real estate, nobody in my family, maybe one person had a house. Right now, everybody in my family has a house or two. But my brother, who's 8 years older than me, never thought it was like possible. I just thought I was gonna live in an apartment for the rest of my life. And there are so many of us that are like that think that number one, they can't do it. It's not something that's attainable, which it absolutely is. And number two, they're not worthy to have it, which is very it's strange because it's something as simple as home ownership, but it's a very real thing. But that's the reason why I'm so passionate about this very topic. So I'm glad that we're having the conversation.
Yeah, I think that it's one thing, I don't know how many of y'all in the chat know what the word poor stands for. But you know, if you think about why our people don't build wealth, it comes back to that definition of what poor stands for. And poor basically stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly.
I'm gonna write.
And because I remember sitting there talking to him and saying, like sometimes we think that to build wealth, you can't enjoy your money, that you have to be a miser. You have to watch every nickel. You can't do crazy stuff like go to Starbucks and, buy the $7 latte
Or
or
enjoy
get you a,
yourself. Yes.
right,
Even in
right. And
enjoying your life.
yeah, and I remember just kind of saying like, no, you can spend money like crazy. I sat there with him. I actually showed him like, for example, how you could just. I was like, here, if you have, she's sitting on millions of dollars. So even if she just took, a small percentage of that money, and I showed him, I showed him with Coinbase stock. I said, this is what I just did with a student, literally minutes before I talked to him. I said, if you bought 2,000 shares of Coinbase stock, you could sell the options on that stock. 2,000 shares of Coinbase would cost you about 300 grand. You put up 150 coin. The Robinhood app would loan you the rest. And I said you could sell those options every week for $3 or $4 a piece. You got 2,000 of them. You're making $6,000 a week selling
Mm.
these stock options, right? And there's a couple more details in there, but for the most part, I know a lot of people that are doing this. And I remember it kind of floored him because he literally thought that to make money you had to do things like take a lot of different jobs and really work yourself into the ground. And he was talking about how he's tired of working, his back was hurting and stuff. And I was like, man, you don't have to do all that. Like they just don't tell you that stuff. If you want to be sinister, you might say maybe they hide it from you. But at the very least, there's a lot of work to do, right? And so I was explaining to him. I said, if you get a chance to talk to this person, tell them they can spend pretty generously if they want to, but you got to protect the ball. You have to protect the capital base. If you don't do that, your children suffer, your grandchildren suffer. And 70% of all wealthy families lose all their wealth in one generation. 90% of wealthy families lose their wealth in two generations. So
Mm.
let me ask you this. So tonight, what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about how to dominate and diversify your real estate portfolio in the real estate market. So that's what I'm really excited about talking about because I've been doing it for so long and it's just a passion of mine. But the reason why it's a passion of mine, so I've always loved to help people, but it's a passion of mine because the deficit that happens in our community
Mm.
and real estate being the quickest way to build wealth and how we were shut out of the real estate market for so long, and so there's just tons of opportunity. This is the reason why I've been so successful is because we need so much help. I'll
Hmm.
never go broke because there's so many people that need help. This information that I have, you would think because when you know stuff, you just think everybody knows it, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't. And so I just want to yell from the mountaintops the information and just give it to all of our people. That's my
Well,
goal.
well, you know what? If you're talking about building wealth with multifamily property, I want people to think about some of the moguls out here. You got even the people like the Donald Trumps and a lot of other people out here that even McDonald's. I was really surprised to find out that McDonald's makes so much money from just buying all this real estate.
Yeah.
And that company has a really interesting history. It's not much of a different story from a lot of your stories. They just took it all the way to the finish line. You had the McDonald brothers who literally just figured out how to make a cheeseburger and fries in 30 seconds or whatever, and they franchised that. And then what they found was that owning the real estate was really even more lucrative than worrying about selling hamburgers and cheeseburgers. And so I would say I want everybody to remember this as you listen to Constance. I'm going to stop talking in a minute because it's her floor. But you know, remember, there's basically three ways that people get rich. I want y'all to write this down. If you haven't written it down, let's write it down now. Three ways that people get rich in this country: stock market investing, real estate investing, and owning their own business. Repeat that in the chat. Stock market investing. Everybody type stock market. Real estate investing. Type that in the chat. All right. And entrepreneurship. Just type entrepreneurship or having your own business. And I want you to just kind of know that because I want you to go back to school and in your head I want you to try to remember how often you were in school a lot of days. You went to school 5 days a week. You did that for 12 years. So you probably went to school, let's say 250 days a year, 2,500 days in a decade, over 12 years. So you probably went to school about 3,000 days. And how many days did they spend teaching you about any of those things? Not many. So, in my view, when you're raising your kids and you're trying to build that generational wealth, and you don't want to be like those other families that are losing their wealth, you will spend significant amounts of time really talking about these things. And as I was speaking to the long lost friend that I talked to today, I just told him he had five kids.
CEO, when change your life, come see me.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. What you got going on over there? Got
No,
all
that
kinds
I
of
was looking.
chaos and drama happening. I'm playing. I'm being silly. Don't worry. It happens to me all the time. All the time. But yeah. So as I was explaining to him, I said, man, you have five kids. I said
Mm.
you're sitting on $1 million empire. Your children are an asset, and any asset has to be managed. Every asset has to be managed. So I said, go manage those kids, just have conversations with them. Don't pressure them. Don't feel like you got to pull out the chalkboard every time. Don't be preachy. Just be conversational. Go love your children. Keep spending time with them, and then eventually the money can ease into the conversation, and you can really show your love by helping them get wealthy and stay that way. So that's my message to all of you. Drill into the assets that are around you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step to the side and let Queen Constance take over and do her thing. And I'm going to be listening in the background because I want to understand everything there is to know about how all these games work. So have a good night, everybody. God bless you. And Constance, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Y'all, I'm sorry for the distraction, but listen, you all that are here tonight with me on a Friday night. First of all, God bless you because you chose to spend your time with me learning about something that I think it would be beneficial for you, but is also a passion of mine. And while Dr. B was talking, the reason why I that thing came up was because I was actually thinking about one of the things that Dr. Boyce really helped me and my son out. And I don't know if you guys know about his stock trading program for kids. So let me just show you really quick. I want to share my screen really quick because what I was doing is I was going to my YouTube page because I want to show you guys this video that I did and about my son. This is my son is 20 now. This was 8 years ago. But let me just show you real quick. I want to make sure you can see my screen. So when my son was 12, I bought him the Dr. Boyce Watkins stock trading program.
I learned about investments, money. We learned about stocks and stuff.
I bought it for all my kids. I told all of them, whoever finishes.
What's getting ready to happen? I'm about to get $1,000 to use to invest in stuff.
He took the $1,000 and made $8,000 in about 2 years. And then in 2020, he took my $7,000 stock portfolio and he made $40,000 in 3 months. So then he had a group where he was teaching stock. He was giving stock tips. It's called Stock Tips with Warren. And so we had like 200 people in the group that were paying him. So he was getting paid in stock and he was getting paid to teach.
Where when you're investing, you're basically buying a part of a company and you can buy shares in that company. Mm-hmm. And so the more shares you buy, the more money you can get.
So y'all, this is why I love Dr. Boyce because my son is 20 now and he's a student at Hampton University. He took his $1,000, made $8,000. It took him about 2 years, but he made 8,000. And then in 2020, he took my $7,000 portfolio and made 40. And so this is the reason why I believe in the Black Business School. I believe in what Dr. Boyce Watkins is doing, and I am honored to be partnering with Dr. Watkins and the Black Business School in bringing my expertise of real estate to you. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen me before, but I'm on Fly Nubian Money. I'm Constance Carter. I've been on Voices platform many a times, and my passion is just helping Black people. So, if you've seen me before, go ahead and raise your hand in the chat. And if you've never seen me before, uh raise your hand in the chat. Okay. I know Varlet, okay, you guys have. All right, give me a thumbs up if you've never seen me before. Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up if you've never seen me before. All right. So hopefully when you signed up for this, you may done a little bit of research on who I am and what it is that I do. But let me go ahead and pull up my slide because I have some really good information to give you, but I don't want to keep you here very long because it is Friday night and y'all might have just got paid and y'all might want to go out and shake a tail feather. So I want to make sure that we get you out here in a good amount of time because I love y'all. I love Black people, but I really get excited. I get excited. So if I start talking real fast or, if I'm saying too much information, I get really excited when I'm teaching this information because I love it so much and I love Black people so much. All right, Samuel, you don't know who okay, first time seeing me. Okay, this is great. All right, bet. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about how to diversify and dominate the real estate market and multi-property investments and all types of real estate. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about myself because it looks like there's quite a few of you who've never seen me before, and I think that's great. And I encourage you to go Google me. I actually did a TED Talk, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but it's called Google that shit. But who am I? Constance Carter, and now you want to act up again. Now you don't want. Now you don't want to. Oh, somebody said GTS. Somebody saw my TED Talk. Okay, so. Now, this was just working a minute ago. Hold on a sec, y'all. Give me 1 second. Gotta love technology. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop the share and let me see if I can get it with it all. Oh. All right. Yo. And it still want to give me a problem. Hold on. Let me do it like this. All right. So you may not be able to, okay, here it is. There we go. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, let me go back to my Zoom. And looks like we got a couple more people on here. All right, let me go back to share my screen. All right, so who am I? Again, I encourage you to Google me. I'm a real estate broker. I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California, Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. Okay, we've done over $500 million in sales. I'm a cannabis investor. I own a cannabis dispensary in California. The reason why I do that is I got into cannabis is because it was an opportunity. One of the things that was really important for me is just seeing, because I love Black people so much, I was seeing just how society was and how so many Black people were incarcerated, for drug, marijuana, and how all of these white people were taking advantage of making millions and billions and now trillions of dollars in the cannabis industry. And I set the intention to do that. And an opportunity presented itself for me to be part of an owner of a dispensary. And I did it at a time, and it was all about being the right person in the right place at the right time. I'm a TEDx speaker. Somebody said GTS, Google that shit. My passion is Black people. It always has been. And so I talk about how to close the wealth gap. It's a great TED Talk. I would definitely encourage you to listen to it. It's one of the best that I've ever seen. It's had about 430,000 views. I'm also a coach and a trainer. Like I said, I get really excited about this because I get really excited about inspiring people. I get really excited about teaching people new concepts. I get really excited about just changing the mindsets. I love seeing light bulb moments and aha moments. And I just love sitting on the front row and just watching transformation happen right there in real time. And so hopefully you guys have some light bulb experiences and some aha moments that happen tonight, some things that you learn that's new, that's going to change your life. That's what I pray for. Every time I meet someone or every time I go somewhere where I'm learning, I always set the intention that I'm going to go, and I encourage you to do the same thing, that when I go, I'm going to learn something or meet someone who's going to change my life in some way. I'm an international speaker. I've spoken all over the world, speaking on stages. I am a best-selling author. I have several books. If you see this right here, several books on credit, on wealth, on breaking the broke code. And most importantly, I am a wealth activist. My goal and my mission in life is to help you to be able to close the wealth gap, is to help Black people to get financially fit, increase our financial IQ. That's my mission in life. And because of society, because of history, because of white supremacy, because of discriminatory practices, I have I have a lot of work that I do, but it's a good thing. It's a good amount of work because we need this help. Okay. So, oh, Doctor, so the little noise you heard in the background earlier when I was going on my YouTube page was this little rap. So Dr. B, he likes my rap, so I just decided to throw it in here just to show you. I got bars too. So somebody put in the comment box bars. Yeah, it's CC, CEO. When you change your life, come see me, yo. I'm gonna teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, house flipper, a businesswoman, a goal getter, a big investor, a goal builder. Teach you, get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams. That past your children, baby. Let me teach you and get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and which is our psychological Black owned firm, but we get all Black folks. Hey. So I moved to the East Coast about 2 years ago. I'm in Washington, D.C., but I still have a real estate company in California. In fact, I closed two of my buildings out there. One was on the water. This beautiful building was on the water. And I had also another building in Sacramento. And I closed both of them, moved to the East Coast, but I still have a team. And I'm licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and in Georgia, and in California. So we are doing business all over the place in terms of my team. I'm not actually out there like showing people homes and helping them buy and sell houses, but my team definitely is. So, y'all like my bars? Bet. Okay. So this doesn't want to move again. Hold on a sec, y'all. Give me a moment. Oh, all right. So let me tell you a little bit about my journey. So now when I was 23 years old, let me bring you back. Let me share my screen. And let me just tell you a little bit about how I got into real estate, kind of give you an idea of the things that I have experienced and why I am so passionate about real estate. So y'all, this is the first house that I bought. I was 23 years old, got married at 23, had a baby, and then we purchased a home. I did it the right way. Got married, had a baby, purchased a home. But it was one of the worst experiences of my life. We bought a foreclosure. The agent was horrible. I bought a house in Stockton, California. That's where I ended up living for 20 years. I'm from San Jose, the Silicon Valley. And of course, 23 years old, there's no way. Silicon Valley is one of the most expensive places to purchase a home. So couldn't afford to purchase a home there in San Jose. So we went an hour away to Stockton, California, where the homes are super cheap. So we get there, we would come, and the agent would be an hour and a half late, 2 hours late. She didn't care. She didn't respect our time. We told her what we wanted to offer on this house. We're young, wet behind the ears, don't really know a whole lot. We tell her what we wanted to offer. She offers $15,000 or $20,000 more. We get the home. A lot of stuff is missing. It's a foreclosure. So we had no linen closet, the linen cabinets. We had no dishwasher, stove, all of these things. She told us that she was going to replace all the stuff for us, and she didn't. Ended up going into debt trying to replace all those things at 23, 24 years old. So my ex-husband, I'm no longer married, but he said, you know what, you should do it. And whatever I did, I always loved to help people. That's always been my passion, is just helping people. Even when I was in the Silicon Valley, I was in IT. And the thing that kind of helped me to do that commute, I would do that 2 hour commute, because during commute times it was 2 hours, 2 hour commute up and 2 hour commute back, was the fact that I was helping somebody in some way. I had to justify in my mind why I was taking that 2 hour commute every day. And so when I came to the conclusion that I was helping people, it helped me to get up every day and go to work. And so I translated that into, becoming a real estate agent. I got licensed at 26 and I became a top producer very quickly. I never made anything Other than the first year, I've never made anything under $100,000, but it's because I did real estate differently. I didn't look at it as a transaction, and I never looked at real estate as just a transaction. When you talk about sales, a lot of people, when they teach you sales, they teach you how many phone calls can you make? Make 100 phone calls, get 10 appointments, close 2 deals. I've never looked at real estate in that way. It's always been about the transformation and not the transaction. So I always looked at it, if I can help you, I want to help your mom and them, your cousin them, your auntie them, all your friends, all your family, because it was always about helping. It was always about building. And that's the thing that I did with my own family, like I mentioned earlier. Nobody in my family, maybe one person owned a home. And now everyone in my family are homeowners. They own their own primary home, and most of them own investment properties, because the thing that I was able to do for myself, I then translated to my family, and then I started helping other people do the same. So it's a beautiful thing. And I think the thing that about us is we think it's a lot harder than what it is, and it's really not. If I was able to do this at 23, I certainly can help you in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s. It's never too late. So I became a top producer. Oh God. I hope this is not going to do this on everyone. Okay, I'm just going to exit this. Hopefully you guys could see my thing. But here's the thing about that. The more money you make, the more problems you can have. Now let me tell you about that. So I made a lot of money really quick, and I promised myself I'm not going to go out and spend a bunch of money on a Mercedes. I'm not going to go out and spend a bunch of money on frivolous things. I was 26. I was 30. I started purchasing real estate when I was 30. I didn't fully understand what I was doing, though. And I ended up foreclosing on some properties. I ended up short selling some properties. And I lost over $1 million in equity in real estate. I filed bankruptcy, and I had a 379 credit score. Anybody ever? I don't even want to know. But I went from 800 plus credit score all the way to 379. So that's the reason why I don't look at anybody sideways. I've been there, done that, and I've written books about it. I have books about credit, but I've been at the top. I've been at the mountaintop, and I've been all the way down to the bottom. And so when they come to me and they're ashamed of where they are, understand, if you've dropped, you can bounce back. I've done it. Within a year of filing bankruptcy, I was back to almost a 700 credit score. The market tank. You had 2008 when you had the real estate crash. 2009, I did a bankruptcy. But guess what, you guys? In 2010, I opened up Catalyst Real Estate Professionals a year after my bankruptcy, because I didn't let that hardship hold me back. I used my hardship as a blueprint to help other people. So I opened up Catalyst Real Estate Professionals in 2010. And I just wanted a small little boutique office. I didn't want a whole lot. I had an assistant that worked for me when I worked for another company. And I just wanted just me, her, maybe one other agent. What I didn't know was there were several agents that wanted to go with me. So we opened up the office. We had about 8 to 10 agents. They were all women, and they were from all different backgrounds. And within the first year, we were top company, one of the top 10 in the city. And then we eventually went on to become the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. How do we do that? We did that because of the synergy and the culture of the business. I never had to recruit anyone. It was because the way we did business was all about helping people. And so the great thing about that is when you have great energy, you attract other people that have great energy. People just want to work with you. They want to be around you, and they want to do what it is that you're doing. They want to see why you're so successful. And I was really fortunate enough to attract the same like-minded people that were in the business to serve and help people. So after I filed bankruptcy, one of the things I did is I developed a transformational approach. I maintained that transformational approach. I became a certified credit expert. What does that mean? I studied credit, and I took training, and I took classes, and I became a credit expert. And then I also implemented in my business. I'm also a lender, so I implemented that in my business. So what did I do? Those hardships that I had with real estate, not really understanding the market, because if you don't understand the market, you could end up losing thousands, hundreds of thousands, and maybe even millions in real estate. If you don't know credit, my parents filed bankruptcy back in the 80s. And in the 90s and the 2000s, they were like, we can't do that because our credit's bad. They had never checked their credit. And a lot of times there are so many people who think that they can't do anything, or they're crippled because they think that they have terrible credit. But don't you know credit, you can use credit as leverage. Credit is the number one factor. Wealthy people do not use their own money when they are building wealth. And this is what I showed other people who look like you how to do, is I showed them how to use their credit so that they can use it as leverage, even if they don't have a whole lot of money. And then when us putting lending in our business, it allowed us to help so many more people. So you have a real estate expert with me, you have a credit expert, and then you have a lender. And we are a lender, we're a direct lender. We actually have our own warehouse line, we're a bank, so we lend our own money. Okay. Here's the thing, like I mentioned earlier, 80% of wealth is generated through real estate. Let that sink in. So in the 1930s, they came out with the FHA loan, and it was supposed to be to make home ownership available to everybody from all walks of life. Unfortunately, if you were Black, you could not participate. They did what's called redlining. And what redlining was, is it means in areas where Black people lived, they did not provide lending opportunities. And that's the reason why you see 72% of white households owning homes, and only 44% of Black households owning homes. But you know what I say? I say that we're a resilient people. You know why? Because despite of them throwing the roadblocks in place of us, in our way, 44% of us still own homes. We got a long way to go. But y'all, we are a resilient people. And I want to stop and give us kudos, because in spite of what America does to Black people, we pushed through and we became homeowners anyway. And so this is the way that we can generate wealth and pass it to the next generation, because 90% of wealth is passed intergenerationally. Now, remember, Dr. Boyce said, stock, yes, real estate and entrepreneurship. And Black people own real estate more than they own stock. And that's one of the reasons why the wealth gap is still so wide, is because we don't diversify our portfolio. We do the real estate, but we don't want to take that gamble because we think the stock market is a gamble. But really, it's taking risks, but it's taking educated risks. It's taking calculated risks. And when you have somebody that's there to train you on that educated and calculated risk, it's not really that much of a risk anymore, right? Somebody who has a proven track record. So we need this. We need real estate because we need to pass down wealth. How many people here want to pass down their wealth to their children and their children's children? I know I do. Y'all, when I get up every day, the people that motivate and inspire me are my 4 children. The Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. So I'm not just working for me. I'm working for my grandkids and my great grandkids, because I want them to have something to aspire to. I want them to have an advantage over everybody else. That I don't see anything wrong with nepotism. I'm going to give mine an opportunity before I give anybody else an opportunity. I'm going to make sure that they're ahead of the game and not in a deficit like a lot of our people are. And so that's so important when we're looking at investing, when we're looking at wealth building, is passing that wealth to our children. We need this because of the roadblocks of redlining, of predatory lending, of overall racism. We need real estate because we can overcome this because of the roadblocks that were put in place to keep us down, y'all. I need you to understand this. This is your freedom. This is the thing that's going to change. This is going to be a game changer for you. This is why we need this. You might need this for college tuition. Listen, I have 2 kids, y'all, in college right now. A couple of months ago, I took my youngest son, I dropped him off at Jackson State. And my middle son, he's 18. And then my oldest son, he's 20. I dropped him off at Hampton University. Do you know? And then my daughter graduated from Hampton. Tuition at Hampton University, we'll say, is $45,000, $50,000 a year. So each one of my children have homes. Actually, my oldest 2, not each one of them. So my oldest 2 children have their own homes. By the time my daughter was 22, she had 2 homes. When my son was 18, I gave him the keys to his property. So if you have something, say you have a property early on, something that you can invest in very cheap. By the time your children get into college, now you have something that you can use as leverage to pay for college tuition. What would it look like to send your kids out in the world with no student loans? because 86% of African Americans end up having student loan debt. We're sending our children out in the world with student loan debt. And imagine if you had a real estate property or a couple of real estate properties to take care of that student loan debt, and then your kids can go out in the world debt free. Now you're putting them a mile ahead of the game. We need this so that we can provide opportunities for our families. Don't you want to put your family in a better position than what you were? But not just put them in a better position, teach them. One of the things that I do is I show people how to make their children investors like I made my children investors. You need this because you might want to retire at some point. And did you know that the average person only lasts about 12 years after retirement? And Social Security is only about, what, $2,000 on average? That's less than what a lot of people are paying for their rent and their mortgage. So by the time a lot of us retire, we're not going to be making enough to pay to even survive. Imagine if you had real estate, you had a real estate portfolio that was able to take care of you beyond your retirement and then pass it on to your children and your children's children. Yeah. This is so critical to our lives that you cannot not own real estate. You cannot not start investing. So how do we get there? Well, you have to build a team. You got to build a solid team. You got to know, how to work with an agent. You got to know how to work with a lender, how to work with a contractor, how to work with a credit specialist. But what if you knew how to do all of those things? What if you became an expert at all of those things? What if you knew how to negotiate contracts? What if you knew how to understand APR and what loan programs are out there to help you? What if you knew how to really determine the cost to build a property? What if you became a certified credit expert? What if you were able to do that all in one? Understand, all agents aren't equal. All lenders aren't equal. All credit specialists aren't equal. But what if you really understood how to do all of those without even being licensed, but just understood? No one will be able to get over on you. You'd be able to save a whole lot of money. You'd be able to negotiate contracts, right? You'd be able to take care of your credit and make sure that you have great credit health. You'd be able to help others to do the same. So this is what this is about. If you don't have a lot of money, you can't afford repairs, because that's what a lot of people think when they invest in real estate, right? I want to invest in and these are some of the things that people say to me a lot. Well, I want to invest in real estate, but what if I don't have the money for repairs? What if I don't have the money for a down payment? Well, let's talk about not having the money for a down payment. Okay, there's many things that you can do to get money for a down payment. But if you have a job or you have some kind of consistent income, even if it's Social Security, even if it's disability, even if it's foster care, even if it's child support, you could utilize that as money to qualify for a home. Well, what if you can't afford repairs? Because a lot of people will say, "Oh, I want to get into real estate, but I'd rather be in an apartment and have my landlord take care of my repairs." Well, I have what's called a home warranty. I don't know if you guys have gotten a home warranty before, but I have home warranty on all of my properties, and I have several properties. So I have properties with tenants in it. And just last month, the AC went out on one of my properties. I just tell my tenant, I say, call the home warranty company. I'll pay the deductible. The deductible was like $100. They came out and they replaced my entire AC unit. One time when I was flipping a property, the HVAC wasn't working. They sent a contractor out there. The contractor said, I can't fix it. So they went ahead and paid me out. They paid me like $2,500 to get a new HVAC system. But guess what? It was fixable. So I was able to pocket that money. Don't tell nobody. I was able to pocket that money and get another HVAC person out there on a second opinion. And he was able to fix it for a couple of $100s. I have home warranties. My water heater go out. I've had my home warranty replace the water heater, $100. Electrical, plumbing, dishwasher, pool, washer and dryer. So when people have these fears or these barriers or these blocks, and they say, I don't want to buy a home because I can't afford the repairs. Well, you have options. Okay. So these are the things that I just want to challenge you on, because these are the objectives that a lot of people say when they're looking at getting into investing. And for you all that are on this call, I really want you to consider, if you do not own real estate, I really want you to consider, number one, buying real estate, but number two, becoming an investor so that you can create your wealth portfolio. Okay. So I just want to share a couple of stories about a couple of people that I've worked with, that their lives have changed. And I mentioned Letitia on my TED Talk. She's a single mom. Okay. She purchased a condo with down payment assistance. So she didn't have a whole lot of money. 2 years later, she took the equity from the condo, and she used it as leverage to purchase a duplex. 2 years later, she used the equity from the duplex as leverage, and she purchased a triplex. And then 1 year later, she used the equity as leverage from the triplex, and then she purchased the fourplex. So in a matter of 5 years, she had 10 units. Regular round-the-way chick like me, maybe even like you. She used down payment assistance, and she used leverage as equity as leverage. When I tell you that wealthy people do not use their own money, they use OPM, other people's money. You will never see a wealthy. I was just looking at I think Irv Gotti. I don't know if you guys, most of you guys should probably know Irv Gotti, but Irv Gotti was on Drink Champs, and he was saying how he sold his whole catalog for, I think, $100 million. He was like, "Man, I'm about to get into film." Oh, word, you about to use that money that you got for the film? He was like, "No, they gave me a line of credit. I'm not using my money. This is my legacy money for my family. I'm using their money, this line of credit that they gave me, and I'm going to invest that in the films." So his money is safe over here. He's using other people's money to make more money. That's the name of the game. Okay. The Smiths. This one, they have several properties. And so what I really want you to understand is it's not just about a single type of property, because your appetite may be different. You may want multi-unit, you may want several types of property. So the Smiths, they have multiple parcels of land, they have single family homes, they have commercial property, and they own a fourplex. Now, let me tell you about this. If you are a veteran, this is the thing that I love about veterans. Veterans, VA loans, you guys have the best loans ever. So this gentleman, Mr. Smith, he has a veteran loan. And with VA loans, you don't have to pay any money out of pocket. That's a true no money down loan. So no money out of pocket. Even the $1,000 that he put down, because you have to put an earnest money deposit down. Typically, when you buy a house, he got that money back. He didn't even have to pay for the appraisal. So this is a few years ago. He bought the fourplex. He bought this in Fresno. He bought it for $300,000. Three of the units, because when you buy a VA property, it has to be owner occupied. So one property, one of the units, he had to leave it. He had to occupy the property. And so the three other ones were occupied. They were $1,000 a piece. The rents were $1,000 a piece. His mortgage payment was $1,800. So he went in, no money out of pocket. He comes in cash flowing, $1,200 a month, cash flow, fourplex, no money down, no PMI, which is private mortgage insurance, great interest rate. And so he kept that one unit owner occupied for a year. And then in 12 months, he was able to put a tenant in there. So for the sake of argument, because he actually ended up raising all the rents, but for the sake of argument, say he had all four of them $4,000 a piece. So that's $4,000. His mortgage payment is $1,800. So now what? He's cash flowing $2,200 in 12 months. No money down. These are same things that you can do. Okay? Love VA loans. Absolutely. Montia, she was in my Net 7 collective. Okay? She actually went to high school with her. She lost her mom and her husband within weeks of each other. Now, she knew her mom, her mom had cancer, but her husband just suddenly died. He's like, I don't think he was like maybe 45. He died of a heart attack, dropped dead within weeks of her mom. So she gets her mom's 5 or 6 foster care. She has 3 of them or 4 of them. Then she has her daughter. So now she has 10 kids that she's raising on her own. 10 kids, all by herself. So working with me, we increased her credit after the bankruptcy. She purchased land, a bunch of land, using land banks. She's in the process of purchasing a fourplex with no money down with the VA because her husband was a veteran. And we set up her corporation, and she's in the process of purchasing a hotel through her corporation. Yes, ma'am. So here's the thing about what I do is it's not just about you investing in real estate, not just about you investing in multi-unit properties. It's about you creating a sustainable business. So not only are we talking about investing in real estate, but we're talking about setting up your corporation, your LLCs, showing you how to do that. Let me tell you, when I started flipping houses, the first house I flipped, first entity I flipped a house in was my LLC. What I didn't know, and what most people don't know, and most people are flipping houses, majority of investors out there are flipping houses in the name of LLCs. With the LLC, there is a IRS reporting requirement. What do I mean by that? Is that whatever money you make, that title company will send you a 1099 at the end of the year. If you invest or you flip a property in the name of a corporation, there are no reporting requirements by the title company. And therefore, they do not, or they should not, be sending you any kind of 1099. Now, it doesn't absolve you from reporting this information to the IRS. Just saying. Take it how you want to. Okay? So, what's also important is creating sustainable business partners, learning how to vet your business partners, leveraging your strengths. Because sometimes your strength may be in one area. You might be super analytical. You might be a person that really knows how to analyze a deal. Well, that's extremely important when you're investing in real estate. How do you analyze a deal? How can you tell what kind of market it is? Well, what's the first step in order to really see if this is a viable investment? Well, this is what I teach you, but that that may be your strength, but someone may not grasp it as well as you. So maybe you can create a partnership, have a joint venture partnership. Sometimes you have partners that have a non-monetary investment, but just they have that elbow grease, right? That sweat equity. One of the things that I want to teach you, if you are under the sound of my voice, is how to create partnerships, how to be able to properly vet your partnerships, how to be able to leverage strength inside those partnerships, because it's important that we stay in our lanes. And then also how to create ironclad agreements. Again, it's not just about investing in real estate, but it's about creating sustainable businesses. Okay? Learning how to create an entity. Remember, I just told you about the tax liability, investing in an LLC versus a corporation. And it's the reason why you need to be around like-minded people who are doing the same thing. And so one of the things that Dr. B and I talked about a couple of months ago is how can we really bring value to the Black business school community, to our people, to be able to create something sustainable? What's really missing? And he and I decided that we wanted to bring something that was easy to understand, easy to access, and easy to obtain. But it requires you to have community. And here's the thing about community. You have guidance, you got support, you got camaraderie, you got motivation, and you got like-mindedness. I'm trying to tell you, it's one of the best things ever. So let me tell you a little about the Carter family, and they are not related to me. I have this methodology that I say, don't buy a house with your spouse. Now, let me tell you about that. So the Carters, they're clients of mine, and they're investors. And so when I tell people don't buy a house with your spouse, one lady told me I was trying to put the devil in her marriage. That's not right, Constance. You trying to separate us. No, here's what you do. The reason why I say don't buy a house with your spouse is because it allows you the leverage and the opportunity to purchase more property. So what I did with the Carters is I sat down and I said, okay, let's look at your finances. Let's look at your portfolio. They both were able to purchase homes on their own because they both made a good amount of money. So what we did is we had him buy the first house in his name. And that way he was able to take advantage of being a first-time home buyer. And then the next house, we had her buy it in her name. And then and again, she was able to take advantage of the opportunity of being a first-time home buyer. It also doesn't tie up their debt to income ratio, which allows them to qualify for less when they're trying to expand their portfolio. So he was able, for the third property, they were able to take the leverage from one property and purchase the other. And for the fourth property, rinse and repeat. So the idea is to be able to get more properties with the two of them. Now, if they would have purchased the properties together, it would have affected both of their debt to income ratio. Now, California is a community property state. And if you're married when you purchase property, it's okay. If something happens to you, you know, the other party is entitled, or your spouse is entitled. However, it's not, I make sure that we go a step further than that. You set these properties up in a trust so that should something happen to you, there's no issues. Because if you don't have your assets protected, then anything could happen. What if something happens, then you end up going to probate. For example, I had a young couple, only 38 years old. It was a husband and a wife. She was pregnant. He was the only one that was working. So they purchased a property. One day he's going to work, gets in a car accident, he dies. The house is only in his name. California is a community property state, right? So she's entitled to the house as the spouse. However, because it wasn't in a trust, it had to go to probate court. What happened? The probate judge said, it's not in the kid's best interest to sell this house. So she had to hold on to this house that she really didn't want. She wanted to sell it, and she wanted to get something else for her and her children as a widow, but she couldn't do that. But if you have your property set up in a living trust, then if something happens to either you or your spouse, the directives are already there. So for example, when I have clients that have their houses set up in a living trust, it's a 30-day process. When you don't have your house set up in a living trust, a will is not going to do, because a will can be contested. A minimum you're looking at is a year. And if you go to probate court, it's costly, and it's also it's time consuming. So it's important that when you are purchasing these assets, that you are protecting your assets. So it's not just about the investment, everyone. It's about setting up businesses and protecting your assets. Let me tell you about my client, Ken. So Ken, baller, he purchased a $500,000 house in cash. All right. His financial advisor said, hey, you got all this money, go ahead and put it in the house. I was like, no. So by the time I got to Ken, he had this property for a little bit. And I was like, no, boy, you could have had this property. You could have had this money in several different properties, and you could have been, building your equity that way. So he held on to the property for 2 years. The value increased $100,000 in 2 years. So then he ended up financing the property, right? So when you finance a property, he ended up putting a loan on the property and he took 90% of the cash out. And with that 90% of the cash out, so it increased to $600,000. He was able to take $540,000 out. So he had 500. So he made $40,000. He still had the property, still had the equity, but he took the cash and then he put it down on several $200,000 properties. And then he was able to make $200,000 each. So instead of him making just $100,000 in 2 years, he made $800,000 in gains. Different ways to do that. So sometimes when you're working with a financial advisor, they're just telling you to try to put it in some kind of vehicle, but it's best that you diversify your portfolio. I'm not a stock expert, so I couldn't tell him where to put the stock. However, if he would have worked with Dr. Boyce, we could have put that money in some stock too and made some gains there as well. So there's so many ways that you can do this. And I just really want to introduce you to just different ways to be able to leverage that. Okay. Jamila, she was able to purchase a property below market. So there are opportunities for you to be able to purchase property below market, which is extremely, extremely important. Sometimes it's not as available as we may think. All right. So she was able to get a $250,000 property for $200,000 cash. 6 months later, Jamila took out 90% of the equity, and she made a 12.5% return on her investment. She then started investing in other properties. Again, I just want to introduce you to different types of investment options and opportunities that are out there. It's not just about your multifamily unit investments. It's not just about single family homes. It's not just about apartments or commercial properties. There are so many ways that you could become a real estate investor. And I just want to introduce all of you to the different ways, but not just the different ways. Again, it's about building a business, and it's also about protecting your assets. And what I do want to encourage you and tell you is that you can also do this too. Remember my TED Talk? I said you can Google that shit. You could do it on your own, because I did it on my own when I first started. You can absolutely do this on your own. And you could Google all this stuff. I did that, and I lost over $1 million in real estate equity by doing it on my own. Okay. You can also take another training. Now, I don't know if you guys know this guy, Grant Cardone. I think this is real cute because a lot of Black people love him. And they pay him anywhere between $40,000 and $100,000 to teach them how to invest in real estate. You can certainly do that. There's other options for you. But I wanted to just introduce you to a training that we're doing here at the Black Business School that we just started, that I'm super excited about. We just had actually our first session last week, and we have our upcoming session this Tuesday. We just started the session, and we've gotten some extraordinary feedback. And this is really, really, really my passion, which I'm super excited about. So I just want to share what it is that we're doing with the B1 Real Estate Mastery blueprint that Dr. Boyce and I have come up with. Okay. So every other Tuesday, we get together. We have interactive live trainings. Now, what's going to happen over the next 12 months is you're going to have challenges. I've already spoken to several municipalities throughout the country for investment opportunities that we are going to start investing in. The great thing is that you're going to be able to involve your family too. So I'm not only going to teach you how to invest, but I'm also going to teach you so that you can teach your family and you can teach your children how to become investors as well. Okay. So inside this, the B1 Real Estate School, you're going to learn about credit. That was actually our first lesson. So 2 weeks ago, we learned about credit. But here's a cool thing. You still have the videos. So I want everyone to attend the live training. So live trainings is where you get your meat and potatoes. Okay. You're going to have investment opportunities for single family. You're going to have multi-unit investment opportunities. You're going to have condos. You're going to learn how to invest in apartments and commercials. I'm going to teach you everything I know about financing, down payment assistance, all types of loans. Remember what I said. I want you guys to run businesses and not businesses. So I'm not just showing you how to invest in real estate, but I'm teaching you how to create sustainable businesses that you can pass on to your children. So when Dr. Boyce said stock, entrepreneurship, and real estate, making sure that your real estate is set up like a business is paramount. Now you got 2 in 1. Now you diversify your portfolio and you start investing in the stock part too. Okay. I'm going to show you how to negotiate real estate sales with for sale by owners, or even understand the process with real estate agents with properties that are on the market. I'm showing you how to invest in fix and flips, buy, rehab, rent, repair, and repeat. And you're also, I know wholesaling is extremely important. All of the flips that I've ever purchased were wholesale properties. So I'm going to teach you that game too. You could actually be a wholesaler if you wanted to, if that's the direction you want to go into. You're going to learn about international real estate. You're going to learn about Airbnbs and rental arbitrage. You're going to even learn about REITs. That's real estate investment trust. Everything that you need to learn about real estate. Okay. I love it, love it, love it. So I want to introduce you to what you get. You get a 12-month cohort. I'm committed to working with students for 12 months. I am committed to personally mentor you so that you can become a savvy real estate investing expert, a certified real estate expert. Okay. So not only will you get mentorship and training from me, live training and mentorship, but we also have, there's 33 videos inside the Black Business School that I set up for you to be able to learn everything that you need to know about real estate. Okay. So you have live training with me every other week, but you also have online training. You have everything that you can think of so that you can become a real estate investor. Also, I teach you how to look at contracts, how to create contracts, ironclad contracts and forms so that you can be self-contained all in one. So you understand the credit part, you understand the real estate part, and you also understand the lending piece to be a true real estate investor. So all of these things, $16,000, $491 is the value. Okay. So Boyce was like, you know what? I want to throw in some stuff too. So I have all of these things. This is all, the training and coaching. I charge $1,000 an hour for training and coaching, one-on-one coaching. So you get $15,000 in coaching, you get the on-demand training, and then you also get tools. That's $16,000. Boy said, I want to throw in some stuff too. Oh, you get these bonuses from me. I also have the Grow Your Money Club, which is also an online training portal where you get access to all of my online training. So in that training portal, you'll get information on credit. You'll learn how to write a book. I have all kind of training. I have over 30 or 40 different trainings on various things to start your business when you really want to figure out what it is that you want to do, in addition to the real estate piece, all kind of training. So you'll be a part of that community as well. Okay. So that's another $2,000. And then Boy said, I want to throw in some stuff too. I got a little ahead of myself. So you also get some stuff. So you get bonuses from the Black Business School. Okay. So you get Black Money 102 expanded. You get Ask Dr. Boyce, the stock market training. You get the real estate training inside the Black Business School. You get Getting Started in Real Estate, Black Money 105. You get the Black Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You get Dr. Boyce Presents How to Invest in the Stock Market. You get the Dr. Boyce Credit Program. You can't get enough information. And you get Black Real Estate Weekend Training. All of that is thrown in there as well. So we're giving you all this value, all of this information, because the reason why we want to give it to you is because we want to make sure that you really are experts. The difference between the haves and the have-nots is just knowledge. It's the information that they have access to. And they're really not secrets. They're things that we've been able to discover, we've been able to become successful at, that we want to be able to give the same thing to you. So that's what this the real estate mastery training is. Okay. So all of this training, more training than you could even think of. We get together every other week. You still have an opportunity to learn all of these other things for only $4,000, $4,997. Bi-weekly coaching. You get this private community. You get mentorship from me. Also, Dr. Boyce will come in, because here's the thing. One of the things that people say is, well, I don't have any money to invest, or how do I get money? Well, we're going to learn down payment assistance, of course. There's definitely different opportunities out there. But Dr. Boyce is going to come in once a month to teach you all how to get started investing in stock live. He's going to show you some stock option information so that you can start investing in stock, so that you can use that money as leverage to begin your real estate portfolio. All of that for only $4,997. Yes, you can pay monthly. Okay. Check it out though. You're going to learn all of these things. You're going to learn credit, investment. But I just really want you to feel what it is that we're teaching you and what we're pouring into you. We have a ton of people that are already in this class. Okay. And it's almost at capacity, to be honest with you. And they are, again, the feedback has been great. We've been having a great time. I get DMs and emails all the time, and we get questions. And so I make sure that I'm active to answer any questions. Again, I've already talked to some municipalities of places that we're going to be investing in as a group. I was talking to Dr. B last night about the difference between the Jewish community and the Hispanic community and the Asian community and the Black community, is they all practice collective economics. This will be an opportunity for us together to purchase as groups, as individuals, to really use our leverage to practice collective economics. I'm going to show you how, and I'm going to show you how to create businesses in doing this. This is our time. This is our Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're going to create our own Black Wall Street through the Black Business School. That's what I'm so excited about. I'm telling you guys, this is revolutionary, and I'm really excited. So listen, because I'm here on a Friday night, And I'm not out shaking a tail feather like I normally am on a Friday night. And you guys have been so patient to be here on a Friday night with me. That 4,000 for the next 48 hours, I think, Chanel, that $4,997 is only $29.97. Okay. So we're taking $2,000 off for anyone who wants to purchase within the next 48 hours. $2,997. You do not want to not be a part of this. You don't want to miss out on this, because what we're getting ready to do together as a community with the Black Business School is phenomenal. That wealth gap that they say that's getting ready to happen in 2053, that our net worth is going to be a zero in 2053, it's not going to happen. Because not only are you guys here tonight because you guys are learning things, but you're going to share it with your communities. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you got to go together. This is our opportunity to go together. It ain't going to be no Hatfields and no McCoys. We're in this together. And so what's really important for me is the folks who join this cohort, this 12-month cohort, is they have to be coachable. You have to be trainable. The synergy has to be on point. We're in this together. You have to be willing to help one another. This is community. We are creating a community of like-minded Black people who want to be wealthy and who want to pass on the wealth to their children. So for the next 48 hours, $29.97 for the next. And guess what? They also, we have a promo, only $347 per month if you wanted to do the monthly payment. But if you wanted to do the full price at $29.97 upfront, you're going to save $200. You're going to save, I don't know how much you're going to save if you pay it in full, but you could do either or. I would definitely recommend you paying the $29.97 because you're going to save more money. The value you're going to get, this is actually worth $30,000 in training. We're giving you $30,000 in training for only $2,997 for the next 48 hours. Okay. So let me just show you really quick. And then I'm going to answer some questions. Okay. But let me show you the website so that you can see how to navigate. And let's see. Are we still, we're on the, so B1realestateMastery.com. All right. So here's the website. Here's all the information. You can sign up right here. So you got 2 days, 2 hours, 52 minutes, and 20 seconds to sign up. And here's sign up button right here. Few of our success stories. And Chanel, I want to actually update these just to give some of the testimonials from the folks who are actually in the training right now. Again, we just started it 2 weeks ago. We started it 4 weeks ago. The first week was just the intro call, and then 2 weeks ago was our first call where we discussed credit, and it was mind blowing. But not only that, y'all, I am showing y'all. I'm telling you, the business piece is immeasurable. I show you how to not pierce the corporate veil. I show you how to create your businesses. I show you how to protect your businesses. I'm telling you, I'm teaching you how to do everything that I've learned how to do. I'm teaching you to do the same thing. So we want you to be our next real estate success story. We really do. That's the reason why we were spending our time doing this. So you can tonight, sign up tonight. And I'm going to open up the floor for questions and answers. Hey, Darlene. Oh, you're part of the group. See, look it. Darlene's a part of the group. Yay, Darlene. Tell them what it is, y'all. Tell them how much you enjoyed it, Darlene. She said it was so much knowledge I shared about, thank you, lady. So much information that we shared about the credit. So if anybody has questions, let me go into the Q&A. All right. So Walter K. Jones says, is this a good time to invest right now? Let me tell you, yes, I'm investing. I wouldn't tell you to do anything that I'm not doing. And I'm not just saying it because I'm in real estate or I'm a real estate investor. Rates are really great. Rates have actually gone down. They're looking to go down more this month. But here's the thing. When you talk about the interest rates, I think they're at about 5% right now. These are normal interest rates. We got super duper lucky in 2020 with these 2% and 3%. And trust me, on some of my properties, I have 2% and 3% interest rates. On now that I'm investing in other properties, I'm at 5%, 6%, 7%. Single family property that I was purchasing a couple of months ago, I was at 9.75. This is $1 million home because I was getting a bank statement loan. So is it a good time to invest? Yes, I'm actually investing. I believe it's a great time to invest because your ROI, the return on investment. But here's also the thing too. Different places have different types of markets. So it may be a buyer's market in your area. It may be a seller's market in your area. And I'm going to teach you how to do all of those different, how to determine what's a buyer's market, what's a seller's market, when is it a good time to buy. But these interest rates are very regular. Are we going to see a 2 or 3% interest rate again? It's not likely, but it's a possibility. So don't wait. I have many clients who've actually waited. Oh, I'm waiting till interest rates go down. And what happens is the prices have gone up. And so the money that they thought that they were going to save with the interest rates going down, with the price going up, they ended up paying more out of pocket. Right. So it's definitely a good time to buy. Let's see, what do you use for home warranty, Connie? I use a few of them. I use First American Home Warranty. I use Old Republic Home Warranty. Those are my favorite. And then on one of my properties, I have American Home Shield. Not my most favorite, but they're the ones that just put the AC in the unit a couple of months ago. Here's the other thing too. Relationships are very important when we're talking about home warranties. For example, I had a client who she purchased a home and her whole plumbing system, months later, her whole plumbing system went out. And what I didn't know, she was my cousin's best friend. What I didn't know is that she was stressed out. She was almost at breakdown. Didn't know. She was going to the gym and showering and everything. And she had called the home warranty company and, they were really slow to respond. Well, because I have relationships with the home warranty companies all over the place because I've given them thousands and thousands of business. When I call, they listen. So the value of having these relationships is paramount because, when you have somebody on your side that can advocate for you, like me, or once you start giving them a lot of business, they're going to make sure they jump through hoops to make sure that you're satisfied. So that's the thing about home warranties. You just got to be on them a lot of the times because, the value that you're getting is great. If you overly use them, they will drop you. Okay. So if you use them too much, the next year when they go to renew you, they may say, they not renew you, but there's other home warranty companies out there. Okay. Partnerships are crucial. However, from a need transport, as long as he rent taxes as insured, except the mortgage, yes, 620 investment, we can do this. Yes, your down payment depends on credit. Let's buy. Let's buy. Let's go. Amen. Connie said, I have well over $100,000 in equity in my home. Should I refinance to get that out before I put it in a trust? It's up to you. But I will tell you, even if you have your house in a trust, you can take the equity out and put it back in a trust. It doesn't matter. It's not going to, you having it in a trust is not going to affect whether you can take money out or not. Okay. My mom's in a trust. I'm actually doing a line of credit for her right now. Just all we do at the close is we just put it back in the trust. So it's easy fix. Okay. So if you want to do it before or after, that's fine. Maria, how can I invest without borrowing money? Use your own money. It's the only way. Either you borrow or you use your own. There is down payment assistance, but you have to, unless you have all cash, you're going to have to you're going to have to borrow money. And if you're investing, you're not going to be able to get down payment assistance because down payment assistance is normally always for owner occupied properties. It's not for investors. If you are an investor, they're going to assume that you have some skin in the game. Okay. Will you share information about purchasing land? 100%. You're going to learn about how to purchase lands through land banks. But yes, you will learn the financing aspect of land purchases as well as opportunities to purchase land. Tips on generating enough income to start this process. So a few ways, and if you're talking about investing, 401k, down payment assistance, gift funds. You can get gift funds from your family. You can also do crowdfunding even, right? Crowdfunding, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, There's all kind of things. You can go out and watch some cars. But no, there's different ways that you can get the funds. One of the things that I tell people to do also, as they're preparing, especially people who are just preparing to purchase their first home, that's saving a certain percentage. So if you know your home is going to be $2,000 and you're currently paying $1,000 a month in rent, like the home you buy is going to be $2,000, prepare yourself for that payment. Put $1,000 aside every month, right? And then in a year, you're gonna have $12,000. Now you can put that money down on your house, and then you are already practicing this $2,000 a month mortgage payment, and so you're already in the habit of paying this higher mortgage payment. So it's not a payment shock. You got money to put down. Also, there are stock that you can invest in. One thing that I invest in is acorns. I don't know if you know anything about acorns, but I love acorns. When I invested in my marijuana dispensary, I used my acorns. So I put money in acorns. Acorns, it helps you to be able to save money without it takes your change without you really even seeing it, right? So if I buy something that's $1.50, it'll take the 50 cents and it'll put it over into this acorns account, and then it'll invest your money in the stock market for you, right? It invests in ETFs, fractional stock. In a year, I was able to save $30,000, but not because they invested my change. I would 10x it. So instead of them taking out 50 cents, they would take out $5 and they would put it over in this Acorns account. So when I went to invest in my marijuana dispensary, no, when I went to invest in my commercial building, I took my Acorns money and I took my weed money and I used that to invest in my commercial property. I own commercial property as well. So there's so many different ways that you could use that you could start saving money for your down payment for sure. Okay. A land bank is an entity normally through a city or county where they have land that you could purchase for extremely cheap, kind of like tax liens. How do you start building a family home on 10 acres of land? How do you get the land excavated and surveyed? You would need a land surveyor. You would need to get permits from the city. You would need to get the property zoned. There's just a lot of different things, but you would probably start with the city. So you purchase the property first. Before you purchase the property, make sure it's buildable. See if it has, electricity already. See if there's a well on site. There's things like that that you want to make sure that you do, because a lot of times people will buy land, and it's not even buildable land. So make sure it's buildable. See if it needs a septic tank, or if it's on a public sewage, if it's, it has electricity. So start with the city, but make sure that it's buildable, whoever you talk to. But again, these are things that we're going to talk about inside the training. Okay. Partially retired, low W-2 income, some income through prime core selling options, some business LLC credit. Can I buy multifamily property to increase cash flow? Yes. So here's the thing about multifamily properties. Here's the thing that I love. If you're purchasing a multifamily properties and say you got a triplex, you could actually use the income of the two properties, if you want to use it, if you want to get a 3.5% down payment loan. So say you get an FHA loan, you could purchase the property for 3.5% down, right? You'd have to live in one property. The first one has to be owner occupied. One of the units have to be owner occupied. The two other ones that are occupied, you could actually use those two, the rental income, to qualify for the property. Okay. So that could actually help you to be able to qualify for more if you're getting multi-units, is you're using the income from the other two units to qualify to purchase the property. So yeah, with these loans though, you got to make sure that you are claiming the income, because a lot of times when we're doing different things, especially if we're in the entrepreneurial space, we want to write off everything. So if you want to qualify for some things, you want to make sure that you're claiming the income so that when they go look at your 1099 or your tax returns, there's some income on there. All right. How may an individual invest in your cannabis dispensary? Actually, it's already in place, so no one can really invest in it. It's been running for the last, I want to say, we've had it for like 7 years. I want to say, so you can't invest in it. It's already a functioning business. It's buildable My lives on it, but mobile is deteriorating. Okay, so I think you were saying that the land that you have is buildable. You have a mobile home that's deteriorating. So yeah, I would start, and so obviously you probably have a well on the property. You have electricity on the property. So I forgot what the original question was. Let me go back up. I would start with getting permits from the city, making sure it's zoned as an R1 residential. Okay. I put my parents' home in a trust since they are over 65. Does that transfer invalidate their property tax exemption? No. I have an LLC. Can I write off the cost of this training as a startup expense? 100%, Maisha. Yes, you can. Okay. That's all the questions in the Q&A. All right. I'm going to go over here. I don't know if you guys, I'm going to have to put on my readers now. Y'all guys, hold on. Let me see what other questions we have. And listen, has anybody signed up yet? Because here's the thing. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity of this $2,997 opportunity, or the $374, I think, per month. He said, my LLC has been suspended for 2 years. I need help getting it back active, and I had it since 2016. Sometimes it depends on if you owe taxes, if you owe back taxes, if your LLC is not, if you're not making any money from it, if you don't have any kind of income history, you might just want to just let it be suspended and do a new one. But if you have some type of history, if you have income history on that LLC, then you want to keep it. But here's the thing about us, and I love it. Since 2000, LLCs have increased tremendously. A lot of people have gotten these LLCs and they have not done anything with them. And with that, I don't know if you guys know that the federal government has has implemented the CTA, the Corporate Transparency Act. I don't know if you know about that, but it's because so many people start getting these businesses and LLCs, and what the federal government is saying is there's been an increase of money laundering. So all LLCs or entities that are less than, I think, $5 million, they have to fill out this Corporate Transparency Act form, and if they don't, you get fined $500 per day, every single day. Now, I think it's an excuse to find small businesses, since a lot of us have started getting our LLCs over the last couple of years, because what under $5 million business do you know is doing any money laundering? These are really affecting like the mom and pop businesses. So just make sure that you guys are aware when you are forming these entities that you know what you're doing and that you're in compliance. Okay. So, see, let me just looking to see if there are any more questions. It looks like we have some more questions in the Q&A. Africa Williams said, do you have to own a home already to use a DSCR loan to purchase an investment property? No, you do not. A DSCR loan is just the debt service coverage ratio. What that means is the debt has to be covered by the amount of income that you're receiving by 1.5%. It just means, but you do have to, so you don't have to show your income, right? You don't have to show that you have money. So these are the no income loans, but you do got to have some skin in the game. So they do want you to put 25% down on a DSCR loan, but the debt has to be covered by the income that you're receiving from the DSCR. So no, you don't have to have any kind of home in order to do that. The debt just has to cover it. Okay. Great question. Can I buy a multi-unit property on a VA loan? Yes. So I told you about the guy who had the 4 units. Yes. And you should. 0 money out of pocket, no money down, VA loan, cash flow, and you can use the income to qualify. Win. If I had a VA loan, or if I had to do it all over again, I would actually buy a multi-unit first, for sure. Yes, all day. Do you have to own a home? All right, no, you already said that. Are mobile homes good investments? Whew. Well, that's all relative, but I will tell you this. I mean, it could be a good investment for you. Is it a good investment? It might be good for a first-time home. Mobile homes don't increase in value very much like a single-family home would. So that's like saying, should I buy a home on the east side? Is that a good area? That's all relative, right? Because you might like the east side, and the east side may have high crime. And you might be okay with that. So a good, it's all relative to you and what it is that you want to do. But I will tell you that they don't increase in value as quickly as a single family or a multi-unit or even a condo. Okay. Would you be able to help analyze a potential opportunity to purchase an estate property? Want to determine if it's a wise to buy out my siblings? Sure. How do I pay balances if I paid the first? How do I pay the balance? Just get with Connie. Just get with, oh, you're on here. Just get with Chanel, and you can go ahead and pay the balance. I'm glad you're enjoying it, that you want to just go ahead and pay the balance. See, y'all better get on it. We don't have that much room. So hopefully you guys will join us. By the way, Connie, next class, I'm gonna be able to see all y'all. We're not doing this webinar style. I'm gonna be able to see all y'all so that I need to interact with the people. So it'll be good to actually see your faces. Because we're going to be doing some things, some projects, and we're going to be, just doing all kind of activities that I need to be able to get some feedback and see y'all. Thank you do you have to take out a loan to begin building a debt-free home? Do you help with grant writing? I don't help with grant writing. We don't do anything regarding grant writing. Do you have to take out a loan to begin building? So if you are taking out a loan, then the home won't be debt-free. So they don't really go together. Someone told me today that I have to own a primary residence before. No, absolutely not. You don't. You can be an investor. I have investors that buy DSCRs all the time. No. My dad recently passed away. He was a veteran. Do I qualify for a VA loan? No. Unfortunately, for VA loans, it's only the spouse. The children cannot qualify for their parents' VA loans. Even if your father was alive and he wanted to do it with you, you wouldn't be able to buy it with him. It's only the veteran and their spouse. Okay. I have already used my VA loan for my primary home. Can I use it again for a multi-unit? You can, but you got to get out of that one you got to get out of that one. And or you have to move away so many miles from that one. And this next one has to be a primary home. So either you can refinance it and get into a conventional loan and purchase your next home as an owner-occupied home for a VA. Okay. And we could talk about those strategies. But yeah, you'd have to just get out of that VA loan. You can't have two at the same time. All right. My son has found a quadplex that he wants to buy. 3 units are already occupied. Dope. What steps do you suggest to make the purchase? The first class was amazing. So y'all see that? She said the first class was amazing. You got to get a loan. First steps. Get qualified for a loan. Make sure he can qualify. Connie, what state is he in? Let's see, do we have any more questions over here? All right. So let's go back to the website. Let me just show you really quick how to navigate the website while you formulate your more questions. You guys, I want to make sure you understand how to go in here and sign up. Okay. So you could either move these out the way, the $29.97, you save $2,000. Okay. And I already see that we already have people that are signing up. So congratulations to all the folks who've signed up already. So you can do the $2,997. Y'all, I forgot to mention that you do get lifetime access. I forgot to mention all of this information is in here. It does not cancel after a year. So you are in here live with me, getting coaching, mentoring, training with me live, but you have access to all of this stuff for the lifetime. Not only just the stuff that I am teaching you, but all of the things inside the Black Business School, you have lifetime access. This is going to expire on Sunday. So you could either do the $347. If you don't have $3,000 tonight, do $347. And then do like Connie, you pay that $347 and just go ahead and pay the $29.97 off. We will actually honor the $2,000 savings, the savings that you get for the $29.97. So we'll subtract the $347 from the $29.97 so that you can pay the remainder if it's done within a certain period of time. Okay. So $347 to get you signed up tonight. You definitely want to take advantage of that, or within the next 48 hours. Okay. I got some more questions. All right. So how does he calculate the current tenants as income? We don't understand that part. So say that the tenants are paying $1,000 a piece. You calculate 75% of that. So you would calculate $750, which he would be able to use, and it would be included as his income when he goes to qualify. But your lender should be able to help you to do that. And of course, inside. You're gonna learn all of this stuff inside the training. But since you need to know it now, the lender should be doing that. Okay, they'll add that extra 750 onto the income so that he can qualify. So 5 years ago, I had an LLC but didn't get the business started. So would I be in debt for that? Yeah. So if you started the LLC before 2024, you have until the end of the year to get in compliant. So let me just show you really quick. Let me go to the Corporate Transparency Act website. It's very easy. CTA Corporate Transparency Act. This is from FinCEN, okay? The financial FinCEN.gov. You go here, it takes you all of 30 seconds to fill out this form. That is not where I wanted to go. This is the documentation. But you go to the, that's the PDF. This is the beneficial ownership information, the BOI, okay? You fill out this form. If you have an LLC, it'll take you a few minutes to do, okay? Make sure you do that. So if you formulated your LLC before 2024, you have until the end of the year. If you formulated your LLC in 2024, you have 30 days within filing that LLC, or they will start charging you $500 a day. So if you formulated it this year, say you formulated your LLC January of 2024, and you didn't fill this out within the first 30 days, the federal government said they will charge you $500 per day, a fine, okay? So 5 years ago, okay, so she said that. Maisha, one more question. I have 2 houses and draining me financially. Can I rent out my VA loan property and tie it to my LLC or corp? You sure can. But I would actually put it into a trust. I mean, like, why do you want to tie it to an LLC or corporation? I would put it in a trust. The reason why I would tie it to an LLC or a corporation, though, is for the financial benefits, the write-offs, right? But you don't want to have all of them under the same LLC. Each property, you want to put them on under different LLCs, because if you were to get sued, everything that you have is at risk. So if you have, you can name each LLC after the address, but they all belong to you. So you don't want to have any LLCs under, you don't want to have all of your properties under the same LLC. Okay. But definitely, even if you put them in an LLC because you want to write it off, have it in a trust, a living trust, so that you're protected as well, because you don't want, if something should happen to you, you want to make sure that it's passed seamlessly to your heirs. Okay. Maisha, I will be at the All Black National Convention. Yep, I shall be. I've heard that you can claim your kids as employees on your LLCs. Yes, it absolutely is a good idea. You absolutely can. Yeah. You can pay your kids up to, I forget the amount. You can pay them up to a certain amount where it'll be a write-off for you, and they don't have to claim the taxes. Okay. And that's a quick Google search, but yes, you can do that with your LLC. That's a great write-off. Can I get rid of PMI? If you have an FHA loan, you can never, ever, ever get rid of your PMI. Okay. However, if you have a conventional loan, if you've reached 80% equity, then you can get rid of the PMI. What you do is first of all, you see what your home is the value is, right? So when I say 80% equity, if you purchase the home for $80,000 and it's now worth $100,000, 20% equity, 20% equity, and it's now worth $100,000. You now have 20% equity in your property, and you can call your mortgage company. It's that simple. Call your mortgage company and ask them to take the PMI off. Now, they're not going to take the PMI off if you don't ask them to take the PMI off normally. Okay. So yeah, you can, but if you have an FHA loan, no, you cannot. All right. Did I answer all these questions? Yep, I did. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a bunch of stuff over here too. It would be a lot easier if you put your questions in the Q&A area so that I can see it, because there's a lot of activity going on inside the chat. But I'll try to look through the chat. When is the deadline? Carmen asked, when is the deadline? The deadline is within the next 48 hours to be able to get the $2,000 off. After this, it's full price. And guess what? There are people that have paid full price to be inside the training. And it's worth it. I mean, it's worth every bit of $5,000. Trust me. Nobody's disappointed for paying $5,000. Lucky for you, we have this webinar tonight so that you can get this $2,000 discount. And that's an even double blessing for you. Okay. What's a good state to buy rental property or multifamily units? So there's a few ways, and we're going to learn this inside the class, Darlene, but a few things that you can do is you look at, I look at what's going on in the industry. Are they building there? Are there hospitals there? What kind of return on investment can I get? How can I analyze it? What's my minimum investment that I got to put in there? So there's so many different states, but I'm going to show you how to source them. Girl, I'm teaching you how to fish. Okay. What's the website for LLC? It depends on what state that you're in. Typically, you get your LLC through your Secretary of State. So your Secretary of State is typically where you would form your LLC. I don't put Roger said, do you put your property in a blind trust? No, I'll put it in a revocable trust. Okay. Any other questions? Again, please put your questions inside. Okay, I got some questions over here. To use a VA loan to buy a multi-unit, does a future rental income boost my income when being reviewed by the lender? No, it's current rental income, not future. So even though I can get in here and get $2,000, but they only charge $1,000, you only get the $1,000 that they're charging, and 75% of that. What's the website to report your old LLC? To report, are you talking about the Corporate Transparency Act, the CTA? Google CTA. It's on the FinCEN website. Let's see. It's the BOI. Oh, it's BOI efiling.fincen.gov. I'm going to put that in the chat. If you're talking about filling out the BOI for your LLC, I'm going to put that inside the chat in case that's what you're talking about, I believe. But if you're just talking about just to get an LLC, you go to your Secretary of State. Could me and my family members go split the price for the class? It's only for one person. Okay. But you certainly could share it with your family members. Would you use a land trust to hold each individual property? You can, but I would actually just put it, I would put them in corporations and then put them inside my living trust. But you can do a land trust as well. Great question. Okay. What happens if it's a new build or there are no current tenants? It is completely based upon my current income. And at that time, yes. So she's saying if I were to purchase a multi-unit and there's nobody in it, or it's a brand new build, you can't use any potential future rent. You have to use whatever is currently in there. So if there's no tenants in there right now, you only can qualify off of your single income. Okay. So a lot of this information is definitely going to be inside. And I'm so grateful for all of your questions. I'm so grateful for all the feedback. I'm grateful for the folks who are actually in the class to be on this training tonight. Hopefully you've learned something new. I don't know. Hopefully you picked up some new nuggets, but I just really want to encourage you all to take the training. You get to work directly with me, and we are going to go on a journey together. The great thing is I'm going to be investing with you. So I'm not just telling you to go out and do stuff. Like when I told you I've already spoken to several municipalities. I already have people gathering some investment opportunities for us as a collective group. I will be putting my money in as well. So I'm not just telling you this stuff. I'm right there alongside of you, investing right with you. Okay. So I'm excited about that when we get to that portion, and we're looking at the investment piece. We're going to start investing around the 90-day mark. So we're just starting. I'm just trying to give you as much information as I can. I'm showing you how to analyze your real estate portfolio, showing you how to, get your contracts, making sure that you have sound businesses, and making sure all of those things are in place. The foundation is more important than anything. I don't want you to do like me. I don't want to just throw you out there and now you just, wild west investing. I want to make sure that you have the solid foundation. It's not any kind of get rich quick scheme. I'm not teaching you that. I'm teaching you how to create sustainable businesses that you can pass on to your children. That's what it is that we're doing. Okay. I got a couple more questions. Is it better to put each property in an individual LLC or into a corporation than a revocable trust? You can do it in an individual LLC, especially if you're doing a buy and hold. But remember what I said about the reporting requirements, especially when you're flipping. When you sell those properties in an LLC, there is reporting requirements that that you don't have when you have a corporation. But most investors are putting their stuff in an LLC. I just don't. And it's the same amount of work for an LLC and a corporation in terms of getting it. Now, record keeping, a corporation is there's more extensive record keeping, but I actually use a company called Laughlin and Associates that helped me to keep my corporate veil protected. It's called corporate veil protection. Now, when you have these corporations, it's important that the corporate veil isn't pierced, because if the corporate veil is pierced, should something happen, file bankruptcy, you get sued, and all of your ducks aren't in a row and all of your documentation isn't together, then it could actually pierce your corporate veil and everything that you have could be at risk. So if you do get a corporation, like I said, no reporting requirements, no reporting is required, no IRS reporting requirements. However, you have to make sure you have all of your documentation together, update your minutes, update your meetings, all of that stuff. And you can, there's a third party company that will do that for a nominal fee. Okay. Is it better to put each, okay, so I answered that. Is a C Corp better when you're looking for funds since tax laws have changed? I have mine in S Corp. And the reason why I like an S Corp for me is because of the one taxing instead of the two. So, you know, if you have a C Corp, you're taxed twice. You're taxed at the corporate level and you're taxed the shareholder level. If you are an S Corp, you're taxed one because the corporation taxes or the profit and loss from the corporation are passed through to the shareholders. If you are the single shareholder, it's passed through to you if there's a profit or if it's a loss. But if you're a C Corp, you're taxed twice. Okay. Y'all gonna learn this in the training. All right. But I like S Corps for smaller businesses. C Corps are a lot better for your larger corporations. Okay. Are you working with municipalities in Atlanta, Georgia? Actually, more in the Midwest. What are the minimum and ideal amounts to have for investing as part of the collective? Oh, that's a good question, because what we're going to do is we're going to present all types of opportunities. We're going to present opportunities for you to invest individually or invest collectively. If you want to do, if you want to have a partnership, if you want to invest as a group, right? So it all depends. We're going to have properties that you can invest in from, you know, from a couple of $100s, right? So we're going to do some land banking investment. We're also going to be investing in actual properties like tax deeds and tax liens. That could be anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 purchase price. So you got to think about an investor, you're looking at 25% of that. So say you find a property that's $25,000. What's 25% of $25,000? Okay, if we find a property like that. But something like that is also going to require repairs and things like that. So I'm going to introduce you to different lenders that could actually give you the money to be able to finance the rehab costs. So it's all of those different options that are available. So I can't give you an exact number, but just think, as an investor, you need a minimum of 25% to put down if you're not paying full cash. Okay. And again, the range is going to range. And that's the reason why having this community is so important, because you'll be able to not just do things solo, but you can invest. My first property that I flipped with my a good friend of mine. He was a contractor. I didn't want to, you know, have all my skin in the game by myself. I didn't know what I was doing. Turns out it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. It really wasn't. I really didn't need him, but it was my safety net. Okay. So so hopefully that answered your question about the minimum. Will you teach us how to use credit cards to purchase real estate using balance transfers? That wasn't a part of the curriculum, but I mean, we certainly can. I know that's the play that that a lot of these gurus are doing. I haven't had that experience of doing that. Probably not the safest thing, but I mean, you know, we could probably bring somebody in here to talk about that. I just haven't done that. But I know there are people out there that teach that. Okay. How will the future project be structured? I'm not sure your question. Are you a trustee of my own trust currently? But the trustee changes when I die. All right. Oh. Let's do some shouts out. Which business American Express card? Which business American Express card? Darlene, are you talking about investing with your American Express card? Felicia, ooh, testimonial. Take advantage, y'all. I'm loving the information and taking action on what's top. My sister-in-law took a class with Constance. Take advantage. Who was your sister, Felicia? Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me go. Let me just look at the comments and making sure I'm getting to everybody. I love you guys. I really do. And I really do this because I really, really care. I could be doing anything else in the world, just like all of you, but I really want to be here with you. And so thank you. You said discuss a C Corp, and I think I did, Darlene. Hopefully you understand. When you open a C Corp, do you have to file the tax too? Yes, for all of it, all entities. Darlene says she's getting oh yeah, for sure. So the great thing about, and we're gonna talk about that too. So the great thing about having your entity is you could have you can get an American Express business card within, and I've done this within weeks of opening up an entity. So I get an LLC, and the first thing I do is I start building my credit by getting an American Express business card, and it's one of the easiest things to do. But you have to, your personal credit has to be decent. Okay. Mobile homes fix and flips. Let's see. Will you teach how to use credit? All right. So I purchased my home 3.5 years ago and I have PMI. I want to get rid of it. We already talked about that. Congratulations to the people who signed up. Thank you, Felicia. Klarna and Affirm are also, oh yeah. Chanel said Klarna and Affirm are also available to finance your membership for the one-time payment using the buy now, pay later option. Y'all. So there's really no excuse. If you want to do this, there's really no excuse for you not to do it. Here's the thing about investing in yourself. Y'all, I got a PhD, a public high school diploma. I have no post-secondary education. Might sound a little smart, because I got a little information, but it's because I pay money to invest in myself. Sometimes I'll be sitting there looking like, wait, how do I know this stuff? How do I know this? Because I've taken so much training to teach me this stuff that I actually know it, because I invest hundreds of thousands of dollars because of my own lack. I don't have a post-secondary education, so I've had to invest that money in myself. So there's all of these options that are available to you to invest in yourself. Take advantage of it. You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. And if you aren't willing to invest in yourself, who is? The only way that you're going to be able to build wealth is getting outside your comfort zone, getting uncomfortable, because there is enough abundance out here for all of us. The thing about it is typically only 1% of the people are willing to do what it takes in order to get there. Absolutely can get it. Most people aren't willing to do what it takes to get there. And so that's the reason why you have the haves and the have-nots. That's the reason why you have people who are highly successful and people who aren't. And some people are okay with that. And that's fine. If you are content with where you are, I ain't got nothing against anything. But I don't want to hear anybody complaining about what they ain't got, what they can't get when opportunities are put in front of you. And I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. I'm giving you the facts. I want to help Black people. I want to see us win. So this is why this information is out here. I do very well financially. I don't have to do this, but I'm doing this for my love of you all. Okay. So there's opportunity. Klarna and Affirm are there for you. So there's no reason why you can't do it. Okay. What's the website again? It's B1. I'm going to go to my website. It's B1realestatemastering.com. And I'm telling you, you know what? Also, this really inspired me, even with my real estate business, just talking real estate. And I mean, it just really re-sparked the interest. Cause sometimes you get a little burnt out. I've been doing real estate for over 20 years and I was burnt out, y'all. And teaching this class and being around all of you doing the Black Business School and the real estate, it actually rekindled my interest in real estate. So it's b1realestatemastering.com for the people who actually ask, what's the website? So you click on the sign up now. You have the $29.97 option. You have the $347 option. Now check this out. You should have, she said there's a Klarna. Uh-oh, no, that's me. You're not going to see Oh, maybe you will. Okay, hold on. So you have Affirm and you have Klarna. So you have those two options even to help you get the financing for the training. Here's the thing. You will get a return on your investment. It may be immediate, it may be down the road, but if you do everything that I teach you to do, you will get a return on your investment. Everybody that works with me, I can say that confidently. My agents, I had agents that came from all different, and I had a small brokerage, comparatively speaking. I didn't have a commercial brokerage. I didn't have a franchise. But the people who came to work for me, who were top producers at other companies, made more money working with me than everyone else because I taught them the value of how to sell real estate transformational and not transactional, how to really build sustainable businesses. People don't teach that. And that's the reason why I think it's so important, is because people don't teach how to build businesses. They just teach how to sell real estate. I'm not teaching you just to buy multi-units. I'm teaching you how to create a business and how to protect your business and how to pass your business. Three very, very, very different things and very important. Okay, we already gave you the website to the BOI. I appreciate y'all. And listen, I want to congratulate the folks. Dwayne, I want to congratulate Dwayne. I want to congratulate Mia. I want to congratulate Zakia. Oh God. Welcome, Kamika. Hey, Kamika. Kamika is part of my Net 7 collective. Yes. Now the Net 7 collective is a whole nother purpose. Whew, one of my purpose projects. Thank you. God, y'all. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Okay, so check this out. I'm gonna do a small group for everybody who signed up tonight. I'm gonna do a meet and greet with all of you. So for everybody, so what we're gonna do for everyone who signed up tonight, we're gonna do a little Zoom meet and greet. Y'all, are you guys available tomorrow? Let's see if Chanel, should I do it tomorrow? Deidre said, please explain to me how to get into the payment plan. Okay, let me go back to the website. But I want to do a meet and greet tomorrow with the folks who registered tomorrow, who registered, if you're available. Okay, so let's go to the payment plan. Felicia, you can come if you already signed up. Yes. Let's go to the Black Business School. So you guys can see my screen. So when it says asks you for how you're going to make the payment, you can choose right here, Affirm. You can go as low as $104 per month, or Klarna, and this is for the pay in full option. So it gives you both of those options to pay for the pay in full option right here. 104. I gotta get this. My Net 7. But you get as low as $104 per month. Okay. So there's no reason why you shouldn't. It's right there. You have payment options. So when you put your credit card in, you click whether you want to do Affirm or Klarna. Okay. All right. So I got you. Chanel can't be there, but it's okay. It could be yes. Okay, I'm gonna answer these last questions and then we're gonna get off. It's been almost 2 hours, but y'all been hanging with me. And I'm so appreciative. I really am. You guys could have been anywhere else on a Friday night, yet you chose to be here with me and Chanel and Dr. B. He's back there somewhere too. He's watching you guys. Which American Express business card, Darlene, they will actually probably tell you which one you qualify for. I did the blue and I did the platinum. The thing about the platinum, no, as opposed to the gold, is your yearly is going to, it all depends on what you want and your limit, but it also the fee, because a platinum American Express card is $500 a year, as opposed to a gold, which is probably like $200 or $300 a year. So it just depends on what the fees, but you can choose. Okay. Do you have options for giving us support if we want to invest sooner than 3 months? Absolutely. If you are part of the collective and you want to invest sooner than 3 months, absolutely. I'll definitely give you the support if you want to invest sooner. Yes, Africa. I am not a former student of Grant Cardone's. What did you say about financing for the program? And I just showed you again, so hopefully you saw that, okay? So if you both are veterans and your husband used his VA loan, can I use my certificate? Yes, girl, that's the whole point. Yes, yes, and yes. What if I don't have any experience in real estate? Well, that's the whole point. You don't have to have experience in real estate. I'm going to teach you all the experience you need to know, Carisha. If you don't have experience with real estate, that's why you take this training. You don't have to have any experience in real estate. And this is for everybody. Thank you, Agnes, for saying gold is $250. You don't have to have any experience in real estate. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about real estate, about lending, about credit, and about investing, and about contracts, and about business. Boom. Tanya, the Net 7 Collective is a group that I personally coach Black women from all over the country, and I help them in different ways to build their businesses and increase their net worth by 7 figures. It's one of my passion projects, and it's amazing. And so we're currently in our 4th cohort. So our next cohort is probably going to start in about 3 months. How do you sign up for the B1 Real Estate Mastery? You go to b1realestatemastry.com, anonymous. I don't know who it is. If you have good credit and some real estate experience, can I move faster? Sure, Jay. If you are in the group and you need some guidance on how to, start moving a little bit faster, absolutely, I'll give you guidance. Just like I said to the last person. So yeah, you will get guidance. B1, Jay or anonymous said, how do I sign up? You see right here, b1realestatemastry.com. I love that y'all hanging with me. Y'all love me, don't you? I love you too. I do. Is it worth it to get a real estate license? Here's the thing about having a real estate license when you're investing. As a real estate licensee, there are certain things that you cannot do and certain disclosures that you have to make as a real estate agent, right? So if you are getting a good deal on a property, and it's worth a little bit more than what you're paying for it, as a real estate agent, you have to disclose that to the seller, right? But as an investor, you do not. So there's a little bit more liability in being a real estate agent in certain terms of disclosure. So no, it's not necessary to be a real estate agent. Now, if you want to do it so that you can help other people, sure. But for the sake of investing, no, you don't have to. Oh, how do you sign up for Net 7? Shoot me a DM and you and I can talk offline about the Net 7 Collective. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. Okay, Tanya, Net 7 Collective is dope as shit, but just like this. Will you announce when your Net 7 Collective cohort opens? I will, but why don't you do this for me, Zakia? Can you also send me a DM? And you can go to my website, you can go to my Instagram and see, just a lot of the testimonials from that. It's amazing. Yes, yes, yes. All right. The meet and greet. So for those of you who signed up tonight, baby, and for those of you who are on here that want to be a part of the meet and greet, shoot me an email, constance@constancecarter.com. But for the ones who just signed up, I'll get your information tonight after this. And I'm going to send you out a little invitation. We'll do a little meet and greet, okay? I'm so excited. Y'all, I am so excited. Deidre, Net 7 Collective, please, you can send me an email or shoot me a DM on social media. I'm happy to have a conversation with you about that as well. Okay. But Dwayne said, what about the meet and greet? Let's get it. Let's do a meet and greet tomorrow. Okay. Constance@constancecarter.com. Yep. So will you announce when you're net? So for the ones who are here that are already a part of the mastery, shoot me an email so I can make sure that you're included in the meet and greet. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. So if you can log on. And then for the ones who just signed up tonight, I should get an alert inside the portal with your information, and I will be sending you out an information. My Instagram is at I am Constance Carter. Is that cool? Is that everything? Nobody has no more questions? That's it? All right. This has been so wonderful. This has been so wonderful. I am so happy that you all decided to join us tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all logging on, spending your Friday night with me. This has been awesome. Okay, so my email, constance@constancecarter.com. And for those of you who are already in the class, just shoot me an email and let me know that you want to be a part. Thank you. That you want to be a part of the meet and greet. I'm going to do it tomorrow. It'll probably be in the morning, or sometime before the mid-afternoon. But I would love to, have a conversation with you, answer any questions live, what you have about real estate investing, and things like that. Okay. All right. There should be a replay. Actually, I think it's on Dr. Boyce's his YouTube page. So go ahead and take a look at Dr. Boyce's YouTube page. And I believe for all the people who register, you will get the replay before the 48 hours is up. All right. So welcome aboard everyone that came, that shared, that spent their Friday evening with me. Hopefully you learned some things, and I will see the ones that signed up tonight. I will see you tomorrow. Okay. Take care. God bless. We will see you in the B1 Real Estate Mastery. We will have a training this coming Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Love y'all. Have a good one. Bye. Girl.